smile. Now the sunshine breathes the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and sound.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight.
Welcome back to Talking Siege here on the Rainbow Six ANZ channel. We have an action-packed episode tonight. We've got so much stuff to talk about related to Rainbow Six. There's been a lot of stuff happening here in Australia and New Zealand. I'm Dev, and Cthulhu and Sky, we are going through all kinds of stuff tonight. We've got Ubisoft Experience Sydney to cover. We've got Ember Rise, which is now live and playable on Rainbow Six Siege servers, and of course Pro League returning this week. So we're going to cover all of that. Firstly, I think I owe everyone watching an apology for my mic quality. I'm actually in a hotel room right now, and I don't have access to my normal PC. So bear with me if we have any issues because of that. But we can just try our darndest. So as I alluded to before, we've got quite a few topics to go through tonight. But first up, may as well talk a little bit about Ember Rise. So Ember Rise, as I mentioned, I released just last week live on all the Rainbow Six Siege servers. So you can play Goyu and Amaru on the new Canal map as of today. If you have Rainbow Six, just update it, and this content all will be accessible to you. You can, if you want to just play the new Canal map, then you can go and you play Discovery Casual. You'll play casual matches only on the new reworked Canal. And on top of that, you can play Goyu and Amaru if you have the season pass. If not, you're going to have to wait until September 19, which is only 3 days away. And then you can unlock it with R6 credits or Renown. So on top of that, there's been a lot of other changes that have come through with Ember Rise. We've got the pilot program phase 2. For those who don't know what the pilot program is, all of our esports teams, our pro teams from all around the world, they have their various skins actually usable in the game itself. And the revenue generated from these skins, when you pay money to get the Noarengo Hibana skin, for example, some of that money actually goes back to the teams themselves. So it's a great way to support the esports scene and rep your colors in game, which is something that I don't know about you, but I've certainly been spending a lot of my spare cash on some of the skins, because there is nothing I find more enjoyable than playing my favorite operators with my favorite team skins on them. And there's also a new way that you can kind of show this off to people with the new showcase system that we've got in the game, where you can actually select which of your operators is displayed on the operator menu. The UI, the user interface of the operator menu, has also been completely redone, and you can pick which operator you want to showcase. So if you're a big fan of Noarengo and Cloud9 APAC teams, you can show off their skins. If you're a big fan of Fnatic, you could have their pilot program two phases in a row, and you can show that off as well. Other things that have been updated, got all kinds of miscellaneous updates. I'm not going to go through it all, but a lot of operator secondary gadgets have been changed, especially because of the deployable shield V2 that has come out, and some changes to the operator pricing as well. So if you're one of those people that's still just unlocking all the operators in the game, this was a graphic that was created by a Rainbow Six Discord mod called Joey Fu, and this breaks down how much Renown and R6 credits it costs to get the various operators. I have a friend who's just started in the game, and he keeps asking me which operator should I get next. And this graphic's a really easy way to just see what you can afford, and maybe you want to get all of the cheaper ones first so you can get more, or maybe you want to save up, you want to get one of the newest operators from year 4. So that's pretty much it for Ember Rise. We're not going to spend too long dwelling on it, because you can just go and play it, experience it yourself. You don't need us to tell you about it. Just boot up the game and play some Ember Rise. But if you're interested in all the other things that we've got talked about tonight, Ubisoft Experience and Pro League returning, there's certainly a lot to talk about there. So Sky, Ubisoft Experience, go for it.
Yeah, I just want to preface this by saying I'm a little bit sick, so sorry if I am a little bit slow, but nevertheless, we're gonna give it our best. Ubisoft Experience is a convention held by Ubisoft in Sydney, Birmingham, and Paris. For the Sydney event, or all of the events, the proceeds will go to a charity in said region. For the Sydney event, all proceeds went to Are You OK, which is a charity or foundation which supports suicide prevention and sort of just talking about mental health, trying to remove that stigma. And I guess their quote is, "A conversation could change a life," which I truly believe. Ubisoft Experience showcases all things unique from new Ubisoft games, cosplay, tournaments, and more. At the Sydney event, we had the Charity Clash, which was an event commentated by both Cthulhu and Dev here. And it's just awesome to see the entire community. Got to meet up with everyone. There was heaps of activations. There was a sledge strength test, Ghost Recon Breakpoint rope climb, Far Cry archery. There was heaps of cool stuff. There was Just Dance. There was heaps of free play areas. There was a tattoo parlor. So much fun stuff to go around. And at this event, I guess we'll go over what our Ubisoft experience was. Personally, I shot a lot of content and interviewed a lot of people. I want to say thank you to everyone I interviewed for being really cool. And it was honestly a pleasure to, I guess, get to have this opportunity. And normally I'm an observer, and I guess to try something new and I guess be trusted with it was something really special. And hopefully over the next few days we'll be able to actually show you guys some of the content we shot, and Cthulhu's showcasing his GIF on screen right now, which I think is pretty cool. Just cosplayers giving it their all. Cthulhu, what was your Ubisoft experience?
For me, well, obviously the big part of it was the charity clash that we had. I would say that I thoroughly actually enjoyed casting all of the matches, including the content creator show matches that we had as well. Outside of the charity clash, so many things were were just absolutely awesome. The overall organization of the whole event was pretty much perfect, and I think biggest highlight for me was just meeting new people and seeing all the cosplayers, really, because there were a lot of them, really. Actually, I believe that will be probably the next part of it, which will show just a little bit of all the, well, many cosplayers that we saw. But yeah, that will probably be the highlight for me, just seeing all the community come together. How about yourself, Dev?
Yeah, I mean, like there was so much happening at UB Experience, like you touched on before, Sky. Not only like the kind of more physical stuff with the recon, Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, rope climbing, or all the physical like stuff that was outside. There was also hands-on with all these different games. You could play Rainbow Six there. You could play Roller Champions. You could play Ghost Recon, which is obviously still unreleased. You could play so many different games, whether that's unreleased games and even some old games. There was a retro gaming section as well.
Oh,
Plus,
yeah.
there was a Watch Dogs Legion area where they were going through these demos of this demonstration of the game, and that was amazing. I wish I had more time on the weekend. I wish I could have been everywhere at once, because I only got to see the Watch Dogs Legion playthrough for about 5 minutes while they were doing a rehearsal. So I didn't actually get to see the proper presentation, and I was there the entire weekend, 24/7. So there was so much there. My Ubisoft experience was jam packed. That's what it was, and it was also a bundle of fun. It was really, as much as we talk about how great all of the different things that you can do and see are, I think that a lot of people would echo the statement that it really comes down to the people. And this is a celebration of the Ubisoft community. And that's everyone, all of the players, everyone who plays a Ubisoft game or wants to be involved in some capacity. Even if you've never played a Ubisoft game before, I'm sure that you could have rocked up over the weekend and had a fantastic time. Yeah. And that's the really thing that made it special to me, just the hilarious moments, talking to people, getting photos of people, influencers or cosplayers dancing. Even while we were casting one of the matches, I got a text message from one of my coworkers who said, "Dev, we can hear you in the other room right now." And and they were in the middle of doing some kind of panel, and they just said, "Dev, we can hear you casting from this room, quieten down." So it was just so it was interesting.
Yeah, it was a great experience all in all, and yeah, I do actually remember you mentioned it as well, Dev. I do also want to add up. I think on the last moments before I had to go to the airport, just only I managed to actually properly get to play a little bit of the Roller Champions. I think you also managed to get a little bit of your playtime, but just without me as well, Sky. I'm definitely digging. I'm digging Rule of Champions, and like the overall concept around it is actually kind of was good fun to me as well. So that's kind of eye-opening experience, you could say.
Yeah, for sure. There's just so much cool stuff you can do. I know there are a lot of cool panels as well. I think Muselk, who's a notable content creator within the I guess YouTube community, was there at one of the panels, and some other notable
Yeah,
influencers and people that work within the industry. So it's really cool to see. Um, and I guess that sort of segues nicely onto the next section, which is the community from Ubisoft Experience. So this was your cosplayers, your influencers that you might have seen yesterday in the Charity Clash show match. Um, yeah, and Cthulhu is graciously showcasing us some of these cosplayers on the screen. That's a really awesome one where you've got them all in front of the Ubisoft logo.
yeah, that was quite an exciting one. And there's also talking about the content creators. We also had the Definitely Diamonds team, but that was made by Ray J, Kate, and Paladin Ember. Who actually
And
managed
some fans.
and some fans and some fans. Yeah, that's true. And their team actually managed to win the first content creator show match before it got transitioned into the match of content creators versus pro players, but we're not gonna mention that.
That one didn't work out so well for them. Believe it or not, the pro players are pretty good, all right?
I mean, that's usually the case, but
Yeah.
except at the first situation.
Yeah, that's true. When did you guys mention we did this this speed run of situation number one? We had
Yeah.
this awesome Esky prize, and yeah, the pro players they were not very good at that one, which is quite funny because you'd expect they would be good. I think you two actually got some of the best scores that we saw over the weekend. So
yes, I
yeah.
managed to get. I think the fastest one for me was 24 seconds. Sky done it in 22 or 23 seconds, I think. And
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, and I think one of the finalists from the crowd, I think the quickest was 29, which is
I think they got 23 on day two.
23 on day 2. Okay, so 29 was on day 1. That's what I remember. But yeah, 23 on day 2. That's pretty impressive as well. That's well done.
Dev refused me of my beloved Esky.
Bro,
Yeah.
I've been sad as well, albeit that it still got me. I managed to get to treat my ego a little bit. No, 24 seconds, yeah, not too shabby, especially when the pro players failed.
No, it was a lot of fun. It was a great event. Even talking to the players and the people who were at the event, comparing it to Six Masters. Six Masters was so different. Six Masters was an amazing event at Melbourne Esports. We had a huge amount of prize pool, all these competitive teams, and here at the Ubisoft Experience, it was really a chance to do something quite different. Instead of playing for, really serious, playing your heart out, just get up on the stage and have some fun. And everyone really did that. Everyone had so much fun.
And Six Masters was sort of like, it was all business for these teams. They're there to play their hearts out, to play their hardest. This was sort of the polar opposite. It's a time to have fun.
Yeah.
Not that you're not having fun at Six Masters, but it's time to have fun, relax, and I guess just get to talk to the community a bit and have some.
Yeah, have some grand old fun. Yeah, that was a very good point as well, Sky. Just the whole Ubisoft experience plus the Charity Clash was definitely a nice departure from all the seriousness that usually is ensued during the competitive matches, during just in general. Whenever you see a pro player, you see them sweating their hearts out, just trying to get that sweet W.
Mind you, we did do one show match off stream where Warden absolutely carried me on Favela.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that he was sweating pretty hard in that match because I definitely wanted to win, and we did, thanks to him.
And
was that the one where Jabus was leaking your comms?
Yes.
Yes. Apparently, he was telling the other team my team's comms. So I'd like to make a formal complaint.
Meanwhile, I got smacked by Vast Shack, and I think there was either Vinny or Redolent there as well.
Yeah.
So
that was really great.
Talking about sweating, though, gentlemen.
Jeebus is in chat.
Jeebus is in chat. Hello, Jeebus. So the moment you go for a complaint, it's like it's a Batman call for Jeebus. Somebody's complaining. Oh, I better be there. But anyways, talking about the sweating and the competitive side, we do have Pro League coming back, ladies and gentlemen. For those that kind of not too familiar about what is the Pro League within Rainbow Six, and you managed to tune in to our podcast. Pro League is essentially a competitive environment for teams that essentially go way higher than, say, the ranked experience, and it's a fantastic occasion for when it gets to the LAN finals, when it gets to some of the major events. It's a great place for the community again to meet up all together, to celebrate it all, and for the teams to essentially play for the titles and the prize money. And so the Pro League for Asia Pacific region, aka APAC, is coming in just next week, actually. Yeah, it's coming in this week. Pardon.
That's why I'm in here in this hotel room instead of at home.
Yeah, flights already managed to scramble all of my calendar times, but yeah, this week already coming in. And for those that also, once again, not familiar about the APAC region divides into 4 regions altogether. So we have Southeast Asia, we have Australia, New Zealand, we have Japan, and we have Korea. And so the way how it works is essentially throughout the whole season, all of those 4 sub-regions play it out. When the online section ends, we do have what is called an APAC LAN. That pretty much brings top 2 teams from each one of the sub-regions to play it out over a span of a few days, and then the top 2 teams that make it out of the APAC LAN get sent over to the global LAN finals. That will be actually this time in Tokoname, Japan, held at I believe middle of November, well, beginning of November technically. Correct me if I'm wrong though, Dev. Yeah, so as it stands right now, for ANZ, we have the top 2 teams that are currently qualified are Orgless and Fnatic, usually the 2 regulars around town for the ANZ region. But this time we actually have a little bit of a spice on top of the cake, because this time we actually have a chance that Oddity Esports could actually qualify, because for the upcoming matches, we have Fnatic versus Mindfreak, and then Oddity versus Orgless. And for Oddity essentially to win, or well, to get to top 2, they need to get at the very least, I think it's a win and a draw. Actually, quickly take a quick peek. No, so they need currently 2 wins, so 2 maps off Orgless, and for Mindfreak to draw up with Fnatic 2 times to have already put it into that position of potentially qualifying for the APAC LAN. But that's all theory crafting at the moment. But yeah, so there are going to be a plentiful amount of the matches happening, and we actually have our schedule already ready on the pro.eslgaming.com if you do want to take a look. And so on Wednesday, September 18th, we are going to have a match of, like I mentioned before, Fnatic versus Mindfreak, and then Orgless versus Oddity, which would then follow up on Thursday, September 19th, which will be Sinister versus what is now Team Cryptic. On this graphic it says Zealous. And I believe Fury game may or may not occur. I'm not too sure just yet. So
yeah, so probably yeah, really exciting. As you mentioned, Cthulhu, it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday this week, right?
Yeah.
And then next week it's actually going to be 3 days. We get 3 days of action: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is really exciting.
That is correct.
Yeah, so it's all the seasons led up to this point, and I for me in particular, Pro League's getting exciting because and sorry, I did cut out there with my internet, so I missed what you guys were talking about. But we are getting to the point where there is a chance that we will see a new contender making it to APAC LAN. It's not a given that it's going to be Orgless and Fnatic, as it has been for the last 2 seasons in a row. It's possible that we might see Mindfreak, that we might see Oddity make it, even some of these other teams. And right off the back of 6 Masters, where we saw really good performances from Mindfreak in particular, I think it's really exciting for these teams to get back onto the stage or onto the virtual stage and start playing some more Pro League. Get these under their belt and start getting those vying for those top 2 spots.
Yeah, it's certainly one of those really exciting moments
I
nowadays.
guess one other thing we didn't
Yeah.
talk about, this is the new patch. We're playing on Ember Rise now, so
That is also
this
correct, yeah.
one of the first times where we're going to get to see. In fact, because the APAC Pro League is recommencing before the other regions, North America, Latin America, Europe, we're going to see how APAC isn't going to embrace Ember Rise, the new some of the new changes, like even little things like certain operators getting frag grenades, Dokkaebi, Glaz, other operator gadget changes, the new deployable shields. These are really going to heavily impact the Pro League, and the APAC teams are the ones who are going to have to think the fastest on that because they have Pro League this week.
Yeah.
And all the EU, North American, Latin American teams get to watch APAC Pro League if they so desire, and start to see what learnings they can take from those matches and bring them into their Pro League games in the following week.
Yes. Well, for now though, so for everyone who's still who's watching, make sure that you will tune in to twitch.tv/Rainbow6 for the whole of Pro League happening. This will be broadcasted live, and you will, if you go follow it right now, you will get a ping on either your handheld device, or you will get potentially even an email as well saying, hey, channel is live, and you'll get to catch all of this goodness, as well as potentially maybe finding some of the newest strats for yourself as well to go for some cheeky plays. But for now, let's move over to the community picks. Gentlemen, suppose I'll start with myself. For this one, it was a choice found from a British caster, Sternab. That is pretty much, well, you can see the title, my solo queue experience today. That is, I believe, the usual European experience that you get, but unfortunately I just can't relate.
I don't know if you know this, but I don't speak Russian!
Well, just a quick, essentially, thing, but all the memes are there, all the memes are all around, and props to Sternab as well to pulling things off. How about yourself, Sky?
Yeah, so my top pick is gonna be Raven, who has got a vlog of the Ubisoft experience, which I think is really cool. I was actually chatting to him about this yesterday, and he said that he thinks it's something that can really benefit teams within our region to try and create more content surrounding LANs and just in general, streaming, blogging, that sort of thing. He noted that other teams in other regions do it a lot, so it's something that he wants to do.
I've just been
And
testing.
yeah, I completely stand by him. It'd be really cool to see more teams sort of take up this opportunity and try and blog a bit. He also has a really freaking cool gimbal, the DJI Osmo 3, which I thought was really cool. Completely off topic, but may have to get myself one of those because it looks pretty awesome.
Cool. Should we quickly watch it, or do we mosey on over to...
Sure.
Testing content with new gimbal that I got for my phone. This event was really something that I wanted to try and make some content for and just see how it worked out. If you guys like it, let me know. Plan to do it at more events, so we'll see how we go. I've just been testing content.
Cool. So yeah, that's a quick, short, essentially video from Raven. If you do want to take a look, the Twitter handle of Raven is @Brandon_RavenR6. So make sure to check him out as well. Now over to you, Dev.
Yeah, so I going with the theme of Ubisoft experience this week. For those who we talked about the Definitely Diamonds show matches there. Can we just pause this and then full screen it, get some volume going, and then play this video, because if you're familiar with Paladin Amber's Twitch content, she is all about different camera angles. She's got this beautiful little gimmick that she does where she'll say, we're going to throw over the breaking news, and then she has all these graphics and she talks to the camera like it's a news show. She's got all these extra cameras looking around the sides, and it's great. If you go follow her on Twitter, then at Paladin Amber, you'll see what I mean. Her content is so particular and quite unique. And our fantastic director this week, who was from ESL running the stream for Ubisoft Experience Charity Clash, he embraced a little bit of the Paladin Amber style for this beautiful artifact here. Let's play the clip.
Yeah. So Amber was a bit separated, which was just delaying her inevitable doom. And
And there it is.
Let's give a shout out to the producer Chris. He actually got Twitter yesterday. So
Oh,
producer
really?
Twit, yeah, he literally got it yesterday. Chris
So-
underscore MJW. Follow this man on Twitter. He is number one.
Yesterday, I found this clipped on Amber's Twitter, and I sent it to Chris, and I said, your little gimmick that you did on stream has like 1,000 retweets or something like that, and maybe that was one of the reasons why he decided to grab Twitter.
It's actually the first thing that he retweeted. So literally the first thing on his feed.
No, it was great. It was, and I mean, it was such a great event, and it was so great because of little things like that, little clever things that people have done. Amber herself is a hilarious person, very talented, and so are all the people behind the scenes as well.
Yeah. And for that, though, today I believe that will be it, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right. So we're here every week, every Monday night. Talking Siege is at 8 p.m. here on the Rainbow 6 ANZ channel for Twitch and YouTube. You can also, if you're just tuning in now and you've missed the episode so far, you can go and watch it later on Twitch and YouTube. Just type in Talking Siege, episode 60, Talking Siege 60, and you should find it. You can also, if you prefer more of a podcast kind of style thing, we do upload these to all of your favorite podcasting platforms, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. So in a couple of days, this will be available on those platforms as well, where you can also find all of our previous episodes. We've been covering all the Rainbow Six related action that's been going on for the last several years. In fact, our birthday, our Talking Siege birthday is coming up. Are we turning 2 or are we turning 3? It's 2, isn't it? We're turning 2 pretty soon.
Yeah.
And
2, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be an exciting one for us. 2 years of Talking Siege. And yeah, so keep staying tuned in for every Monday, Talking Siege at 8 p.m. And yeah, we'll keep bringing you this great content. But another thing you want to tune in for is the Pro League this Wednesday and Thursday night, 7 p.m. AEST. That's Sydney or Melbourne time. And we'll have some fantastic matches in the ANZ Pro League to see who goes to LAN for APAC finals. But that is all for the program tonight. Thank you for everyone joining in, and we'll see you next time.
It's barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah.